Okay, is it still not clear? I hope I'm audible. Okay, awesome. So we are going to discuss basics of LangChain and its use case. So currently, as of today, LangChain is not completely um, uh, activated with Google free version of Google APIs. So I would recommend you uh, or the paid versions of Google Gemini API keys. So I would recommend you if you have access to your OpenAI API keys, please go ahead and run the code in Colab. I'm pretty sure you will be able to uh, run it. All right. You just have to install the dependencies and yeah, you should be set. And that would be my advice for senior guys. For very junior who are very new to machine learning and LangChain, we are going to go very slow and steady. We might extend a little bit. And yeah, so I'll quickly present my screen and let's set up the context.
Is this 1 hour demo session or 2 hours?
If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be 1 hour session.
Okay.
So just keeping the time into mind, we are going to go mostly over theory because to be
Okay.
honest, the newbies might not be able to understand anyways the code structure and basics of OOPS, and the senior doesn't need it, right? They just read documentation and they are good to go. Most important thing is theoretical understanding of how LangChain is utilized in current day and age. Just give me just a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, you can just go on and read the documentation. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. So let's set a bit of context. LangChain would be just like another framework slash technology, which is used a lot in current day building context, literally. So there are some things which are called as chains. There are something which are called as memories in our AI agentic flow, right? All those things you might not have heard about. You might have heard about prompting a lot, and all the rage is about prompting, and not all of these things are being focused, which are chains and memory. So we are going to talk about that a little bit of today. And yeah, so we'll keep the session a little bit interactive, and uh, let's get started. So you might have heard about a lot of tools like n8n or uh, other tools which are no code vibe coding tools, which are mostly like a drag and drop, and they have already implemented all this LangChain inside their nodes, and those work pretty well. This lecture would be a little bit more on theoretical understanding of how those concepts like look in real life. So uh, why do we need LangChain? Okay, let's start. Why do we need LangChain before what is LangChain, right? So LLMs are stateless, no memory or of past interaction is available, right? So think about LLMs as basics, basic LLMs as your auto completion in your chat. When you speak, when you start typing something on your uh, uh, keyboard of your phone, thing gets auto completed, right? That's the basic kind of LLM. Uh, the problem which is solved when it recommends you three words which you are going to type from like which are used in WhatsApp and other cellular mobile applications, is by saving the word dictionary, which words are repeated after a certain word. What is the probability of that word being repeated, right? So exactly this, from a theoretical point of view, is applied um, in our line chain. So since we need a certain mechanism for buffer memory, the buffer memory should exist. Uh, we are giving our LLM tools, which is LangChain, a buffer memory, which it can reflect or recall when necessary. So the buffer memory can like vary from sizes to sizes. So generally, we just keep it like five, uh, and we should be good to go. So five, which would mean five previous five questions would be in the context. And yeah, so which is LLMs are not stateless. They don't know what state they are in. They don't know the state. What I mean by that would be, let's say you ask who is president of India, and then so you are setting up the context, right? You are asking it, president of India would be so and so and so. So the context set is about mostly about government, or about, you might want to ask about geopolitics. So in the vector store, where I'll explain what a vector store is. Give me a moment. So vector store would be just a buffer memory. All right. So in the memory of LLM, there is a space where all these questions would be. So LLM would expect what kind of questions you might ask in future, right? So you have asked the first question, what is who is president of India? So the context volume, which would be, so it would be a multi-dimensional volume, and the volume which would be activated would be very similar to president concepts related to presidents or government of India or history of India. Uh, the build-up context would not reflect something which is, let's say, flavors of ice cream, right? Because those are a relatively different part. You can, although you can ask the question in the same context, like you are asking 10 questions for about, let's say, geopolitics, and then you are asking about certain comparison between two ice cream flavors. It will still give you, but the thing is, you will be ruining the context, right? So to take care of all of these things, we can use LangChain. So if you remember, or you have used ChatGPT, older versions of ChatGPT, you could just reject the answer. And so what do I mean by reject is, you could edit the prompt, the question which you asked to the LLM, anywhere in between, and it would start a new chain. That chain of thought. Okay, we'll talk about chain of thought in a while. So that chain of thought, just understand it in a plain English. So that chain of thought, which is started after editing a certain question, is a new chain, right? You are making your LLM stateless, and giving it a different chain of direction, so that it will build up context in that chain, and the context would not be built can be taken care using LangChain. And yeah, this is the basic concept of a chain. I'm pretty sure I just skipped LLM, so I'm pretty sure you are aware of what an LLM is. LLM, to define it simply, would be which uh, and I am from Mumbai. I live in Bangalore. I work for this and this company, and so and so. नहीं नहीं मैंने वही बोल रही मैं भी ओ, ओ, Okay, sorry. I'm seriously sorry. One of my teammates just called. Yeah. So there was an issue with the code structure which we were building. Yeah, we'll get back to it. Okay. So I have the implementation API key. Uh, if you don't have that key, we will do something about it. Not probably today, but current day we can't do it. So I'll show you the working of it. And if you have an OpenAI paid API, you should be fine. Awesome. Sorry for that. Just give me a minute. Okay. Uh, okay. So I we will go ahead. Is my voice fine now or no? Not yet. How is it? A little bit of feedback from you guys would be helping me a lot.
You're audible.
So audible, right? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's about chains and LLMs. So LLMs are very large language models. So those are language, and they work on a principle called as uh, uh, so you look so there are a lot of principles obviously, but most important one would be the latest one when in 2016. Let me just a minute. Yeah. So, yeah, where were we? We were talking about LLMs. So there were a lot of research papers in LLMs. The most recent would be the one which was done by DeepSeek, which would revolve around something called as a distillation, which is obviously a chemical chemistry concept. It means that you can distill certain kinds of weights and biases from the training while we are training the models, and you can apply those changes in which we were doing, which we would do like 100 times the effort. The GPU cost would be reduced. So the distillation one would be the latest one, where LLMs were booming. And yeah, that should be it. So I hope basic gist of LLMs chains memory is fine now. Um, Prompting, if we want to talk about prompting would be just interacting with ChatGPT, and and that's it, right? You just go ahead and go on ChatGPT and ask it, tell me about today. So it will try to describe it. Tell me about today. Okay, so I'll show you something. Okay, a little bit of sideline context, but I just want to show you something. I know this is not part of this, but since we are talking about prompting, and I did a task yesterday at my work job, and it was like whole task was on prompting, right? So just give me a moment. I'm really sorry, guys. Today I'm not feeling a little bit. I'm not feeling well. I could not. Uh, so yeah. So I'm just going on Google AI Studios. Guys, if you are aware of this, you don't need its introduction. But if you're not, I'll just quickly explain you what this is. This is not LangChain, okay? Again, still why we are going and understanding this is LangChain is almost dead. Even if the research, the people in industry are using it, it is dead. I'll tell you the reason why. Because LangChain has been very tightly integrated in internals of this all these AI companies like Gemini or OpenAI. But that doesn't mean we should not understand its internal working because it's very important for us to obviously code if we want to make something from scratch or utilize 100% of capabilities which we can just by using prompting, right? So over here is Google AI Studios. This is just a playground which you can go ahead and play with, obviously. So this happened like 3 4 weeks ago. If you just go over here, I'll just do one certain thing, and that should be fine, right? You can just go on AI Studios, google.com, or you just search what I searched. Okay, you can just go on single speaker audio, and over here you can add something. Okay, let me just show you what I have added. Let me just mail it to myself. It's on my WhatsApp. Or else I'll just stop presenting my screen and get it in a minute. Okay. Anyways, it's on my WhatsApp. So let me explain you the problem statement. I wanted to generate a voice uh, for my chatbot, which we are using at work. And the chatbot, you will understand just by reading at the prompt. So why am I specifying this? You will understand it in a minute. Awesome. So here I have just pasted it. I hope my screen is visible now. So yeah, uh, let me give you a little bit background about it. So I'm working at an astrology uh, chatbot company based out of Bangalore, and we are building some fantastic AI and astrology, Vedic astrology, fusing it together and building awesome solutions, right? So yeah, my task would be was to just generate a voice and to just read this. So this is important. Regardless we know LangChain or not, we should know how to make prompts because all these prompts fire up certain kinds of dimensions in the whole vector database, right? So since I have mentioned vector databases twice, I'll explain you what vector databases are. Uh, Before that, let me just go through the prompt. So the prompt would be voice style prompt, Agastya Vedic astrologer. Tone would be a deep, calm, authoritative, like an ancient seer transmitting timeless wisdom, emotionally grounded, never hurried, never unsure, all that stuff, right? So being very precise with words which we are using is very, very important. Again, obviously, I can't write this well all the time, right? If I put efforts, I can, but I can't write it naturally. So what I can do is I can give it context, a broken context doesn't matter. Just type out all the stuff which I want to include, and I can use an LLM to clean my context in certain way, right? That we can do. So that's that. Uh, Pacing would be this, voice texture would be this, energy would be this, accent would be this, and so on and so forth, right? And if you just go ahead and I remember one voice I loved, this one. So it's called ENCELADUS. Okay, just go ahead and paste anything. Okay. From okay, we will just go ahead and uh, Uh, can you give me some, um paragraph, GRAPH on or anything for that matter, right? You can just copy this and just paste it over here. Uh, it's sad that I can't run it and make it listen to you. Let me see if you can listen. Let me see if I can share my audio. Um, okay. Anyways, I'll just run it and see if you are not on your laptop. I'll try to make this like work for you. Wait, if you are on your system, I'll just paste it over here. I am not sure if it's of any use to you, but you can just again test it, right? So you don't need this, and it will just keep on generating. It will just go keep on like moving in circles, and you should be awesome. Like it should be fine. When you are done with it, uh, yeah, yeah, I think so. I can hear it. Are you able to hear it? Let me see if I can share my audio. If someone can help me, does it Zoom uh, allows share audio? That would be awesome. Or else you can just try it. I can also download it, but then it's hard to share it, right? So yeah, this was my task, and it was this easy, right? Again, Google is giving you about $300 of free credits. You can just play around with it. You just need a Google Gmail, and you should be fine with it. And yeah, that's what a basic context of uh, prompting is, right? So why do we need, again, let's jump on LangChain. Before that, let me give you a brief about vector databases. Look, I know this is a little bit unstructured, but the thing is, you have to know a lot of stuff like simultaneously to understand the bigger picture, right? So vector databases would be a wrapper around already smart and trained large language model, right? What that wrapper is. That wrapper would be a wrapper of knowledge. That knowledge can be your company database or your any PDF. It could be your Excel database. It could be your Mongo. It could be your Redis. It could be anything. Okay, you can put databases on like very complex databases on like graphs. So it's literally vector databases. Uh, my favorite one would be Pinecone, but I use Neo4j. So there is something called as a cipher queries, which we need to build and then retrieve a lot of dirty work, a lot of database people might know. We have to write a lot of queries, right? So it's very similar to that. If I have to show you some sample ciphers, so if I want to show you my work, this would be it. So all these ciphers are like all these are work related ciphers. If I have to just look at this cipher, again, a cipher is this is a 14,000 line item cipher. So think about how complex the data would be. So again, you don't have to understand the terminologies, but you can make out of it, right? If you go ahead and use my app, so it's called AstroSure. Uh, it's certain tiers are free. Again, I don't expect you guys to believe in astrology. I don't believe in it myself. But yeah, I work for it because it's very interesting as a as a as a subject. Um, yeah. So this is how a cipher looks. So if you are aware of what a JSON is, it's exactly that, right? And while building LangChain, look, your code part would be like 10 lines of codes. Because anyways, you will be giving your API key, you will be importing some stuff, you will be writing a user prompt, system prompt, we are going to see that. And you'll be asking a question. And then after that, like 20 lines done, you are retrieving your data from your vector databases. The hard part comes when designing your vector databases. And this is how typically a vector database looks. Okay. Um, so this is almost like a JSON, like JSON and yeah, mostly like a JSON and some C++ stuff, right? Uh, you can say it, something like that. So again, it's very hardly tightly coded language. There are no places for syntactical errors. And yeah, everything should be, it's not necessary that everything should be uniform, which means it's a non-relational databases. So yeah, vector databases are like thousands and hundreds of thousands level vector databases. If you think about Excel, this is two dimensional database, right? Your x-axis, your columns, and y-axis, your rows. This vector databases can stretch to thousands of dimensions, very complex dimensions. Yeah, you can visualize this too. If you want to, that would be awesome. Actually, I'll pick up some small cipher and try to visualize it. So the website is called Aura DB. I hope my instance is open. Again, guys, this is a little bit important stuff. Most of this is the production stuff, which I like literally use it at work, right? So let me just open it. So 2 days ago, I started the instance. I hope the instance is not closed, or else it will take another 10 minutes to open. Again, the instance would be something which you are using on cloud for the people who are not aware of it, right? Okay, it's paused. Okay, I'll just restart and we'll come back to this. Okay, let's go on vector databases. So basics of vector databases must be clear by now. These vector databases, like complex queries, which I just showed you over here, are you're not necessarily supposed to create this by your hand. Look, since I am working at scale at production, I need certain things certain way. I need my data like very precisely where I have mapped it in my mind, right? Exactly there. Because when I want to retrieve it, I need to retrieve the exact thing. Because again, going on tangent, astrology is something which is exact, which is supposed to be exact. Okay? Not going to comment if it's true or not. But just for enthusiasts, or let's say your company documents have a lot of general ledgers which are in PDF format. This is very complex data, very hard to understand, right? But nice part about this is we can plug in and already like so we can plug in an PDF and extract data from it, and not just like PDF of 10 and 20 and 30 pages. We can just put like 1,000 page PDFs. Okay, this can scale. In one of our sessions, we created an A10 workflow doing that. At the end of the session, just someone remind me this. I'll show you that very beautiful workflow. I'm pretty sure few of you might have attended that lecture too. Okay, so meanwhile it just resumes itself. We will okay. So Neo4j Aura is an uh, cloud-based database where you can dump in your created Cypher queries, which is supposed to be your vector databases in certain format. You dump it and then you can visualize it, right? And that's what vector databases is. So uh, to go very briefly over why do you want to use LangChain and uh, why you should not care about it a lot would be the integration of LangChain in various LLMs by themselves, right? So OpenAI and Google Gemini are on the verge of giving you ability to plug in your databases without any cleaning, and just by plugging it, you will be able to use it. So you don't have to necessarily do it by yourself. but it's always fascinating and fun to learn new stuff, right? So this stuff is very new, which is going to go like out of window very, very quickly. LangChain. Yeah. Again, I use LangChain because I need to create an logic, a specific, very specific logic, right? That's why I use it. But regular people or regular, easier, less complex uh, data might not need LangChain. So component to build apps, so prompt templates, chains and memories, and document loaders and retrievers. We have talked about it, right? So uh, loaders would be like to load the document. If I go over here, this is not working, right? This is Google Colab, guys. You're not aware of it. So I was trying to generate like a question and answer bot using this code, and currently it's not functioning well. It is facing some issues, but we'll get back to it. So retriever is to retrieve data into your memory, and loader would be to load it. So it's modular, composable framework, works with many LLM provided. So this is a lie. This is not that they don't work with all LLM providers. The simple reason is this thing, this documents is always rewritten, right? Every other 2 weeks, this documentation, the framework is being changed. So it's very hard for LangChain guys or this OpenAI guys and Gemini people to coordinate with each other. So 1 week your Gemini works, 1 week it doesn't work. Uh, that's why OpenAI has completely stopped giving free API keys. Okay, so I hope all this stuff are clear. So key concepts we have already talked about. So LLMs, we have talked about. Again, there are a lot of LLMs, Google AI, sorry, not OpenAI and Google Gemini. There are also like old LLMs which Meta used to make, Minstrel and bunch of stuff. And yeah, DeepSeek is very new. Even there is an AI called as Satyam AI. Let me just quickly see because this is an Indian startup and they are doing a fantastic job. It's called Sarvam, sorry, SARVAM, Sarvam AI. It's a very awesome large language model, SARVAM, Sarvam, if you're interested. It's a very awesome India-made large language model, very, very recent, like hardly like 2 months, I think. They are doing fantastic job. Again, based out of Bangalore. And yeah, so they have trained it pretty cheap, just like in Chandrayaan. So let's see where this Sarvam journey goes. But currently, market leaders are OpenAI, Google Gemini, and then Azure also comes, Microsoft Azure. And I'm not keeping a lot of tabs with Meta, but yeah, they would be doing something nice. And obviously, there are like on Anthropic Claude, which is really good. You can use that, right? Next would be prompt templating, right? Again, if you are aware with any kind of like programming language, let's say JavaScript or Python, you are aware of what this is, right? I'll just zoom in. So this is typical like prompt template which you use. So this is an input variable. This is a template, right? You are just imputing the variable name. And this is very, very similar to this. I'll quickly try to show you some prompt template if I can fetch it from somewhere. Is it over here? Look, okay, this is not very nice. Okay, there is nothing over here. Chalo, regardless. So this would be your prompt template, which consists only two key values, like variables over here. So input variables and template. Okay, sorry, not key values, like variables. So what this is missing is there are a lot of things like temperature settings or so temperature settings would be how creative you want your model to be or how accurate you want your model to be, those kind of settings. Okay, I can't just pull out of my head right now, but there are a bunch of them, right? And which are pretty like nicely written in their documentation. And that would be mostly of prompt templates. Next would be memories. We have talked about buffer memories. Specifically, this is called as buffer memory in LangChain. Buffer memory would be like it is a stack. Uh, Stack would be a data structure which like could be first in and last out. Okay. Um, Non-programmers, please just quickly read about stack. STACK stack. Uh, and yeah, so buffer is a stack and it stores past exchanged information. So let's say you asked, okay, let's take an example. You asked, how are you doing? And then it said, how I'm doing fine, and so on. So, and then how are you doing? So I'll say, I'm doing fine. And then I ate ice cream today. And then I went to gym today. And then I feel like really terrible because I'm doing both healthy habit and unhealthy habit. So this thing is getting stored in a stack, and that's why it's a buffer, right? This is how the buffer memory, the conventional buffer memory is designed. Again, if you want to get deep into this, you can just get rid of buffer memory and you can design a memory structure of your own. The memories, other memory structures would be having a cache and retrieving the cache instead of buffer memory. But this is very high level scale relevant stuff which seniors might be aware of, right? It's a little bit hard to instruct seniors and juniors in the same lecture. But yeah, I'm sure you are following what I'm trying to say. And the combination of this model prompts and memory would be a LangChain, right? LLM chain, chain of thought. Yes, chain of thought is one of the important research paper which is like really recent, and it kind of blew up like languages, right? So yeah, so. Uh, this is the part where we might get stuck, right? So I was trying to implement LangChain with Gemini. I have a Gemini free key, which you can get like easily online. If you're not aware, just text me. I'll tell you how. Uh, which can do bunch of other stuff, but not what we were planning to do. Uh, so I don't have OpenAI key. Okay, and right now there is no money in the wallet. So I'll just check once, give me 2 minutes. If I can make this code run. I was trying to run it without using any LLM. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to use an dummy LLM, but this is also not kind of compatible with my Google Colab. So we'll hold our thought over there. I'll try to go back to my old code and see if I can use an API key, but regardless, we will be going through the prompt, the code, right? So, so this is the code which I was trying to do, Google Colab. It might not work right now, but if you just put your API key over here and run the code, uh, you should be fine, right? So let's go line by line with this code. I'll just try to put it on my Google Colab. So before that, let me just explain what Google Colab is. Okay. Who are aware of what Google, who are not aware of what Google Colab is? I'll take that question. Amit Kumar, you want prompt? Okay. Just give me a moment. I'll just paste this. Which prompt do you want? The voice one?
Yeah, the first one you were just saying. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Take care now. You can use this and play DS. It's awesome. Awesome. You generate anything. And the task was supposed to be like 7, 8 hours, right? I know I'm going against sideline, but I finished it in like 20 minutes because I never need to go into open source research. It's that good. It's that good. Google just announced like 3 weeks ago. You can play around with it. You can create your voices, which are really amazing. Chalo, regardless, let's jump back over here. So, huh, the question, who are aware of what um, Colab is Google Collaboratory. Not aware. If I get like 10 not awares, I'll just explain it. But I need it a little bit faster. We can't just sit around and okay. Anything what I said today, if you have not understood, uh, we'll wait for 10-15 minutes and we can discuss and I can explain it to you. Okay. Not about now. I will let's go. So Google Colab is something just like a notebook. What is a notebook about? Notebook would be line by line. So notebook is something which where you can execute your code line by line. So right now over here, this is very terrible thing to do. Right? You are putting everything in one cell. So what is a cell? Let me just again. Okay. So you don't know what a Google Colab is. So you just go ahead and search for Google Colab. Over here, you will be asked to sign in. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? And then you can just click over here and then you can just click over here. And then you can just click where? Just a minute. I just want a new notebook in a drive. Yes, perfect. So new notebook in a drive will be created. Now, from here, I'll very quickly show you how to interact with Google Colab, right? So here is your Gmail and here is your Gemini and here you can share stuff. This is pretty straightforward, right? This is important stuff. Now, this is a table of content, which is kind of not relevant right now. This is like code snippets, again, kind of not relevant right now. This is your secret keys. You can add your keys instead of putting it in your code. You should add your keys over here, secret keys, because those are secret for a reason. Your credit card information is attached to your API keys, and that's the issue. I'm not able to use my working API key on Google Colab because the authentication is required through my phone's Microsoft Authenticator or something like that, and I am not able to connect it. I'm sorry for that, but yeah, this is how you do stuff, right? So over here, you can generate code with AI, and over here are few release notes. Okay, now you can click over here and you can just do a manage session. So if you go ahead and do manage session, you find nothing, right? You can just click on connect and then do manage session and then see, let's see what happens. So Google Colab provides you few things. Google Colab provides you space to code. So this is the space to code. And when you code and do like run that, execute that file, your output is over here. So just to give you an example, uh, this is how it works, right? So if you code here, your output is here. Again, this is a Python programming platform. As of I am aware of, I'm not sure if other programming languages are supported, but I am 99% sure if they are not. Um, and this is what your resources are, right? So what are resources? So Google gives you 12 GB of RAM and 100 GBs of data. So what you can do is you can store your data over here. You can write your code over here and literally train a model. But there is a catch. The catch is if you go outside this window, there is a chance that this will stop because Google Colab is a project for students, not for working professionals like us, right? For us, you don't train stuff over here. You just want to go ahead and check with a proof of concept. You want to bring like just code it out and test, and you don't want to create an environment or something on your system. Again, if you're not understanding what I mean by that, just ignore it. Uh, that might not be relevant to know for you to know in this stage because you want to learn AI, not programming, right? So yeah, you have system RAM and you have disk. Now, if you change your runtime, okay, sorry, not this. If you change your runtime, Google Colab will also give you GPUs. So along with CPU, it will give you GPU. And yeah, it's almost like you are having a GPU access locally. You're connected via internet. So it's an inference engine. Yeah, exactly. So what is an inference? Inference is output from an AI model. So when you ask ChatGPT, I am feeling sad today, you are giving and prompt to an inference engine. Your model is an inference engine. No, not exactly. Your model is an weight and a bias. Model is something which is digitally data, like stored data. But your model needs to run on something, right? Like it should run on some kind of hardware, which is based off cloud, somewhere in Pacific Ocean, something like that. So this inference, this processor, these GPUs uh, use electricity, obviously, and those run your model on those GPUs. And when you query, I'm feeling sad, uh, the query is given back as no worries. Here are few codes to help you with your sadness and anxiety. You're getting a point, right? So this is AI working, but there are a lot of stuff happening in background. So there is electricity, obviously. There is a GPU, right? To run this GPU, we need electricity. What you want to run? You want to run a model. What is a model? Model would be weights and biases. It would be like 30 GB, 40 GB model. All right. So you need to have capability to run that. And to the process of running it is called inferencing, right? The process of improving it marginally or perfecting it in a certain direction. Let's say you want your outputs in certain way, that would be fine tuning. So inferencing would be like taking output. Fine tuning, you might have heard about this word. So fine tuning would be perfecting it to some requirements. And training, you never should use we want to do training, because training is very expensive stuff. And generally, as like us, we can't do training. You need like multi-million dollar support from big tech companies, because the GPUs like run for hours and hours. Okay, I'm sure you are aware of this stuff. So uh, your Google Colab is this. Your Google Colab is your coding platform. It gives you coding outputs uh, in cell wise, like in a notebook fashion. And it can also give you inference engine like GPU. If you want to keep a CPU, that is also an inference engine, right? Oh, nice. So, so ideally, what would happen is if you ask these questions and answers from these questions will be stored in a buffer memory, and your LangChain would recall them, right? Awesome. So very quickly, we will go through this code. And yeah, import. So in Google Colab, again, if you're not aware of it, in Google Colab, whenever you want to do a pip install, so let's say this is your terminal, right? So you do, I can't do this, pip install pandas, right? If I click enter, the library pandas library is a Python library. It will start getting imported, right? I don't have to put anything over here. This will be like in yellow, some naming convention notations, right? But if you want to install something in Google Colab, you need to do this. Okay, you need to do like exclamation mark. Okay, so ideally you should do it like this. So first line over here, pip install LangChain and OpenAI. You just want to install LangChain and OpenAI. Okay, and then you want to do some imports. Uh, Z. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this. So to execute this, you just do Control Enter, right? So I'm not going to talk a lot about this. So you are just importing some stuff. So you want to import, since we want to work with ChatGPT OpenAI API key, we want to import the models. So if you are new to programming, how to understand this? Again, if you want to learn it in depth, you can go at LangChain docs and just start reading it. And I'm pretty sure you will not understand anything. But ideal ways to do that. The better way would be start building a project on your own. right? Just define a problem statement, watch a YouTube video, understand their problem statement, and try to implement by watching the stuff. Then comes like reading documents and making changes by your own, right? This is a little bit junior, kind of junior, senior level, mid developers do these things. So over here, LangChain, this is a pretty awesome documentation, but at first glance, you might not be able to like understand it. So here is something which you can do it for free. So if you want a Google Gemini API key, you can go on. Okay, I'm still repeating this stuff again and again. So if you go over here, aistudio.google.gemini key, just type Google get a Google Gemini API key, and if you just click over here, and there will something will come up, and then you just have to select your project or create new, and then create an API. Okay, and it will show you over here something like this. So if you just create it, it will just go on. And right now it had failed because, yeah, I have been abusing it for a whole day. But yours will not fail, and you will get an API key, something like this. I'll show you. Uh, it's not relevant right now. We still will try to get it over here because the thing is, this is a confidential data, and I am not supposed to like share it with anyone, right? So because I'm telling you guys to not share it with anyone. So very quickly cancel this. I'll do an escape. You just have a second to look at it. Uh, Come on, man. No, but if you go over here, I'll just paste it, and you click on this, you will get it. Let's not demonstrate. I'll leave it up to you to see that. Awesome. So you want to give your uh, uh, credentials to your operating system. That's what this is. So you are assigning OpenAI key to this key, which is not available right now, right? And then you are creating a buffer memory. Okay, sorry. Because you want to make that stack, right? And then you are creating a prompt template. Pretty simple. So what is a prompt template? So input chat history. You want to give your chat history in every input. Now, think about it. What kind of uh, chats we do on ChatGPT? We go on and keep on talking with ChatGPT for like 10, 15, 20 questions, and the ChatGPT outputs are so big and so huge, right? Think about you have heard about you have seen. I'll show you why am I explaining, right? I'll show you. Awesome. So if I just go and type something like this and click over here tools. So this is something which is called as a run deep research, right? So what happens in this is it is trying to reason what uh, it has given you as an output. So I'll explain it to you again. Um, if I ask who is Prime Minister of the country, of our country, it will say Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the current Prime Minister or something like that. Sorry, redundant Prime Minister twice, right? So when you ask this, uh, you are setting up context, but and your model is outputting you is giving you an output, right? And now, if you do it in reasoning mode, it will think about what it has given the output, right? And it will try to reason it. So the reason it will try to see if that reason is valid or not. So it's kind of a complex like cycle of AI happening over itself, right? The AI is checking. So there are kind of two AIs working here right now, right? So one AI is generating, another AI is checking if the generation is correct or not. And again, there are a lot of research paper on these kinds of theories, right? One AI correcting in another. If you are machine learning person, you are aware of coders and decoders, not electronics concept, not computer science concept, a little bit of machine learning concepts, right? Coder, decoder, encoders, not decoder, encoder, coder and encoder. So those kind of contradict each other, and the system keeps on improving on itself. So yeah, those are all tools which your AI bot has access to. Now, jumping back to code, where is my code? Okay. Now, jumping back to code, what I am trying to, so that's an architecture and algorithm which you are trying to push. Over here, you are trying to push an data, right? So the steps of question and answers given by the language model, large language model, are clubbed like a sandwich and passed as an input variables. Look, I know what this means. Like if you are a programmer, you know what this means, right? But I want you to take a moment and understand the gravity of what this is as a program, as a code. What will happen after 10 to and fro's happening between chatbot and the prompter, me? The context will be starting building up, right? So if you have noticed, if you ask 10, 15 questions to ChatGPT in new sessions, it will never throw today's limit reached, something like that. But if you just keep on asking one question, so let's say you are a developer and you are just not reading the logs and just dumping your output in the logs and asking your LLM to solve your program, something like that. A lot of time happens. This happens, right? To programmers, you are aware of what I'm exactly saying. So if you give it like 100 lines of like lines of logs and keep on like doing to and fro like 7, 8 times, you're done for the day. You're getting my point, because the chat history like builds up so much. Again, there needs to be research done in this scenario. A lot of companies, a lot of free open source people are doing that. You need to stay in touch with that. Again, that's another topic. We'll come back to that someday, some other day. Okay. So template. What template do you want to do? Again, you can put over here anything. So over here, you can put you are a general ledger analyzer of my company. This is all my general ledgers. Let's say you are doing audit or something. Uh, do you see any irregularities in payments? Something like that. Okay. You have to answer it accordingly, right? So anything can be your template. Template would be like what you want your program to do. Again, you want to integrate your language and your chain, like your model and your chain, because the chain is the thought, right? You want your language to have the memory, right? Uh, and that's this. So again, we talked about temperature. Temperature would mean like how much liberty you want your model to take on its own. So 0 is like take full liberty, speak whatever. 1 is be very specific to whatever is told. If you don't have it, don't say don't. I don't have it. Don't like create it from anything, because at the end of the day, this is RAG, retrieved augmented generation. So it's retrieved but also augmented, right? And generation. This is synthetic data. This is not real, right? Actually, answers are synthetic. That's what I meant, not data. Data might be. We are not sure. DeepSeek has done that. Uh, okay. So OpenAI, like last year, uh, called out and dragged DeepSeek people into to court for like stealing their data, something like that. You might have heard about it, right? So what they did exactly, their claim was they took the inference engine and the data which was create so this DeepSeek people created data and used free inference engine of OpenAI and probably hacked into the system, understood their weights and biases. Weights and biases are basic like blood and muscles of the AI model, right? Uh, we can have a very like deep discussion on that, but yeah, that should be it. And when you are creating your chain, you can just keep on doing this, and this should work. So it will give you okay, I'll just try. But the So one of my teammate has sent me. Uh, Chalo, for demonstration, we can take that risk. I'll stop presenting my screen, right? And I'll try to execute this code with the API key. If it works, I'll just remove the API key and then show you the code output, right? Just give me a moment. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, we are all, like kind of done uh, uh, with our seminar. So since we are not able to execute this, I'm going to show you something else. So what we were trying to do is exactly what is done on this. So this is something called as N8N. This is an online drag and drop uh, workflow creation tool, right? Also, I wanted to show you this, right? It's still resuming. Wow. Oh, it's running. Awesome. Let's see what a vector database is. Let's see how vector database is visualized, right? So I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. And I do this, awesome. And if I do this, awesome. You're getting my point. You're getting what this is. If I zoom in, you can see this is mercury, right? What remedies does it have? What properties does it have? It has a disease, right? All this stuff. All this data is stored like this, and this has this like this is a vector database. This is so when a question is asked, your model tries to like so you can hard code this planet and like check for this planet or this planet. Again, this is very work specific. You don't have to understand this, but yeah, this is how your data looks, and this is how your data is stored in your vector. This is one like one, two, three, four. It's 4, 5 dimensional data. There are like because this is a very small file. There are 14,000 line item files over here, like more than that. Whole database is like almost, I'm not sure, but probably like 200 dimensional data, something like that. Okay. Are we here yet? 2 days left, right? I hope this works. Yep. Let's see. Uh, oh, sorry, not this. Can you do for me, right? Am I AI? Yep. So just to explain you very, very quickly, I know this was not our project, but this is exactly LangChain, but in code. What we were trying to do. This is on a workflow, right? So this is the chat bot. It gives you an interaction place to interact with this. Over here is a AI agent, your code structure, right? This is your API key, which we don't have right now. This is your buffer memory, which we were setting, and this is your database, which you can use an Excel or PDF, right? And these are all tools. I'll just zoom it in a little bit so that you can read it, right? And that should be it. So, so what this is I'll just show you my Airtable. Okay, do I have my Airtable? So, uh, again, if I just go ahead and ask this, how many grapes do I have? It will just execute it and it will tell me how many grapes I have. So this database consists of my groceries, right? So I'll explain you how this database looks because I can't fetch it on very quick notice, right? So over in the first column, all my stuff is so my grapes, my oranges, all my food stuff, right? Over here is my inventory. How much do I have? And over here is the threshold. The third column would be threshold. How much do I have to notify before the threshold is crossed? So I have 10, but if the threshold of 3 is crossed, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 is crossed, I need to place an order. So look, I'm just asking what is the threshold. I'm not specifying. Okay, it would be called something else, I guess. Okay. So basically, what I am trying to do, like explain by show you by this demonstration is we are able to hook up a database to our LLM and do some bunch of uh, logical uh, logical checks, some filters, and this can talk with you like this. So based on your inventory data, items you need to buy are those current quantity at or below inventory threshold, right? So looking at the data, there are two things. Sorry, two quantity. So T, which is current quantity is two, but the inventory threshold is something like this, right? And yeah, this is exactly what you can do. Instead of this Airtable, which is just a spreadsheet, your Excel sheet, you can use PDFs or images or anything. So yeah, I hope we are kind of clear. We are kind of understanding how LangChain is used and how much critical it is. It is how much important it is to understand LangChain, but you might never get to utilize LangChain. But when you learn LangChain, you get to understand lots of core principles which you need to know to improve your prompting or your AI engineering journey, or just be aware of what is happening in AI. So yeah, that's all about LangChain. And today something happened is what happened was Google uh, Google Gemini API key, which was a free version, has stopped giving like not stopped actually. They are in some between uh, like testing or something where they have not completely tested yet the compatibility with the LangChain. Not very like I don't remember very specific what happened, but something like that. And uh, I have Google Gemini like paid version API. It was not working with the code which was supposed to be like this. So I quickly created an OpenAI API key, but then I don't have it. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll try to put in Ruchir, our CEO's API key over here. I'll try to execute it. If it works, I'll show it to you, removing the API key. If it doesn't work, uh, yeah, I hope it works for you. If you have an API key, it will work for you. This code, which is present uh, in this document. You can have this document. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen now. So, I'll stop my video also. And yeah, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. Meanwhile, I'll just try to like make this work. If it works, I'll show you. Any questions, guys? Anything which I said was a little bit
Hello.
tough to understand and it went off?
Hello.
Yes, I'm not looking at the screen. Please, yeah, introduce yourself and
Yeah,
tell me.
I am Arnav Haldar from Kolkata,
Okay,
and I am working in full stack development.
okay.
So my question is, if I plan to integrate or utilize this LangChain in my product area, like I do service or server development, you can say, like microservice mainly for cloud platform. So like we don't have direct access to the internet, so can we still use the LangChain or any LLM in our product where we cannot connect to the internet?
Um, no, unfortunately, no. By the way, I have a good news. The workflow worked. Yes, but answering your question, Arnab, we can't do it without internet access. I'll tell you alternative what you will need to do it, which is very expensive. So you will have to bring like 20 lakh of rupees of GPUs, like store it, have it on your local uh, server. You will have to build like a very good AC air conditioning room, and then you will have to pay a lot of electricity charges. If you want your capability of running an LLM without internet, you can use the intranet in your premises, and yes, you can do that. But currently in India, no one, I am not sure if they are, but I don't think so anyone is doing this. Adani and Ambani might do it. So that kind of money is required. Uh, I hope I'm not discouraging you, but what you can look into is fine tuning of models, where you will get a lot of inference engine online. So again, Google Colab gives you some kind of inference engine. Your Hugging Face gives you a bunch of inference engine. Your Kaggle gives you an inference engine. So the problem statements, which those are, you can learn how to do an inference or train your models or fine tune your models just for learning. But if you want to do, if you want to implement it at your work, you will need internet, or other alternative would be you will have to build your database data center locally. In which case, yeah, that should be fine.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. So I'll quickly share my screen. Chalo, I can share whole of my screen. Doesn't matter because the API key is really long, and even if like this API key gets breached, that wouldn't be an issue. So look, I asked hi over here. Hi, how can you how can I assist you today? So what this chapter is, I'll just quickly see what this is. Okay, just give me a moment. Come on, man. Why? PDF load failed. Let me just quickly download. Meanwhile, if you have another questions, please go ahead and ask. Any questions? Anyone? I would really like to hear uh, feedback from you guys. Thank you, Rajni. Just one more and just download this because this is what I can think of right now. And we will plug in this in our AI. See if how to download it. Why is it not getting downloaded? So it is downloaded. Yes, like that. Okay. I hope I'm audible now. I'll just download it in desktop. Um, over here, just to save. I'll just kill this. I'll just stop this. Okay. And I will drag it over here. Okay. Ensure your file has saved some elements and so on. So, okay. Yeah, you have to read it, right? And then I just rename this. Instead of this, I'll still hide it. Don't want the AI to be visible. Okay. So this code is not the code which I was working on. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll try to find the code, right? Because the API key is working. Stop presenting my screen. Yeah. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and ask. We'll wait for like 5, 10 minutes, 10 more minutes.
As there is no question, I'm asking again. Like, if we like, what is the use case? Most of the time, people build products using existing online available these lang chains, or some big companies which are providing like Google or OpenAI.
Anab, I'm not kind of able to understand your question.
Like, as I came to know, like, we cannot like, based on, like, as it cost huge, we cannot like locally create it. So how does it get used in the industry? Like, most of the products are built online, and they kind of rent, or they kind of pay the OpenAI or whoever provides the LLM, like, based on usage,
Yes.
based on the.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's an exact cloud architecture. You get a secret key, like a bunch of configuration files. You can ask for certain things to be enabled, certain things to be disabled. So, just to give you an example, in ChatGPT, before like just this Ghibli trend, you couldn't generate images, right? You
Right.
needed to have the 1600 rupees subscription for that. But after
Mhm.
certain time, they are giving Ghibli for free. But they are again giving some other features for people who are still paying them. And those features are really, really awesome. And those are not available for us. So exactly that thing is reflected in our cloud. You can enable, disable certain things. Let's say you are getting an API key from, let's say, Azure, Microsoft, or from Google themselves, Gemini. Azure, you will get OpenAI. But the
Mhm.
nice part about it is Azure will give you all of them. Google Gemini will give you all of the API keys. So Google Gemini will also give you OpenAI API keys. It will also give you DeepSeek API keys, right? The the uh, the the umbrella, the ownership would be with OpenAI. They internally would be paying them. But for you, you can directly take it as like when it, like on demand, basically, right? Don't have to explain on demand, right? on demand is like best way to explain it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's not try to experiment. I'll just show you whatever is available because it might take longer. I'll share my screen. I was trying to do something like, but on the fly, it's very hard to implement. So basically, if you just start executing this code, which is present in your the document which I shared, it will give you something like this. So if you start talking with it like this, so hi. So it will again say, hello there, how can I assist you? You can ask, uh, how is weather? No, you can't, it can't answer, right? Because it doesn't have weather tools. Look, if you could have given it a tool along with the memory buffer, the tool would be like weather data, current weather data. It would have fetched it. You could have, you need to give it a, um, the location. So let's say I want the weather from California right now. It will just go ahead and fetch it because anyways, this API keys, this weather APIs are for free, uh, freely available. So you can do that. You can do trading. You can do a lot of bunch of stuff, right? So this currently will work like a regular LLM. How is how was moon landing? And it will try to answer this. So moon landing was done by Apollo 11 mission on this. Okay. Very crude, very basic demonstration of our code working. I and yeah, I hope you got to learn a little bit about something today. I hope this lecture was productive. If you have any questions, we are always welcome. Your questions are always welcome. Yeah. If some of one of my, any one of my teammates are here, you can take over or yeah, awesome. Thanks, Ratna. Thanks. I was not in like great health today. Yeah, I couldn't even tell it to my teammates, and everything happened. You might have noticed I was not a little bit uneasy in the beginning. Thank you. Just see if anyone from my team is present here. Answer, Arnab, Gopinath, Raj, Rakesh, Sumit, with no one. Okay, guys. So if you are interested in Accelerator, please reach out to us on LinkedIn, or you might have, yeah, LinkedIn would be the best place to reach out to us. And yeah, I am also in the Accelerator follower list, so you can find me there. And thank you for joining today. I hope you have a healthy weekend today and tomorrow. An awesome one. Thank you, guys.